Oh, that's interesting. That's different.
Yeah, it keeps changing. They've changed a
It
lot.
does.
It says it's being sent to YouTube, but there it is. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It's Saturday, the 16th of November, 2024. And we have with us our very beautiful, handsome, apparently Air India pilot, Jim Charles. You don't know why I said that. I had the most amazing dream. I'll tell you in a minute of what it was. With Jim was the pilot of the airplane that I was flying on.
It has to be with a neural link because with his current vision, that could be scary.
Well, it's all AI, apparently, is what he told
Right.
me. So, yeah. Anyway, I dreamed that Jim was the pilot of my plane. Yeah. So it's funny. Anyhow, we have Jim here. Welcome, Jim. And we have a
Thank
room
you.
full of peoples. We have Dawn, Barbara, Elena, Michael, Radha, Celeste, and Susan. And then who do you have in your room?
I have Blair.
Hey,
Hi,
Blair.
Blair.
There, oh, we saw a
Oh,
hand.
there it is. A little hand behind Jim. Mhm.
There he is.
I'm gonna put Jim as the thing. So we're gonna do some just playing the views now because I want to see how multi-speaker. I guess that's the best way to do it. Yeah. So we'll start with some. Do you have any announcements that you want to start with, Angie?
The channel.
I don't really have any announcements at this moment. Jim has his new book out. Elijah Speaks. We have that's all I got.
Channel panel?
Oh, okay. Channel panel. I'm very scattered. Channel panel is January 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Sedona, Arizona. And Jim will be one of the main speakers as well as doing a workshop. If you're interested in that, please go to the channel panel. It's also on Jim's website, jim-charles.com. The information is also on his website. You can take a look there too if you can't get to the channel panel. And yeah, this is a great opportunity. I can't wait.
It's in Sedona, Arizona. It's a good opportunity. Bashar will be there, Wendy Kennedy, Sean Swanson, Daryl.
Daryl Anka?
Well, that's
Ty
for sure.
Flagler.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Scranton.
Daniel.
Daniel Scranton. Yes, Daniel
Tyler
Scranton.
Ellison be there? Tyler as well?
Who?
Tyler Ellison is going to be there.
Yes, Tyler Ellison will
It's
be
quite a
there.
bit.
I
It's
can't even remember all the names, but it's going to be really amazing.
That's great. So cool. Very excited to have that happen.
Yes, and I know many of you are coming, and I appreciate that. I will feel really good to see you.
Get some horns so when Jim comes on the stage, they can
oh
air horns for when
oh.
stage.
I mean, right?
Should. It's something.
Right.
Okay, so we will if because Wendy just came in, Joan's coming, great. So if y'all have requests, then please write them in. In the meantime, we will do some blessings and everyone is doing a blessing basically. So we'll start. Did you want to do a blessing too, Angie?
Oh, sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, so we'll start with I can't see everybody. It's weird. Now I can't see everyone. A moment, just so I know people in YouTube land, they've changed the Zoom. So now there's all kinds of different views where you can see people.
It is different. They just
Yeah,
keep changing it.
it looks nice, but it's just you can't see all the people's
Right.
that, yeah. Okay. So we'll start with Michael, then we'll go, I'll just do it on my screen. We'll go Michael, Angie, Barbara, Dawn, and then let's start with that, and then I'll say the other people. So Michael, Angie, Barbara, Dawn, and then we'll come to the next group of people to do blessings.
Very good.
Okay.
Sulaka samateka seulu tamaya ke usamata ola si sikutu si o amatu sikito tai autorite si ola ya se ta sumapaya ea nake uya ya usia.
The energies are constantly changing in this realm, so be aware of the good energies and the bad energies. If you are feeling uncomfortable, then do not entertain that particular energy. But if you're feeling good and fresh, then take that energy with you. And it is going to be a very big roller coaster ride, energy wise, in your realm.
Todo unora de tera sa kuacheta a. Mier toture se te imo dorora sara. Kia tuort kumora satara. I shena a udura se te.
Remember to lift up your gifts to God and start using them in ways that are beyond your understanding. For you are in a world that is very interesting and common, but very interesting and uncommon as well. Use these gifts wisely.
Watahoko ashiata manahia toko kashinoana kiapatoko ati kanahana ki kunachata kuata manahana kihatoko ata.
The light shines throughout the universe. Let your light shine as well so that we can see you better. There are groups and areas of great brightness, but then there are other areas of darkness. We need you all to come together and shine a bright light on the universe from your place, because we need to be able to help you with that energy.
Otetaan kiisikana akusama arua. Le ekshna kutorma hisikawai. Tista arukuro na haruku umo sata eu. Sheana maskia ukuhasha ya. Tiaka ya suno uswane. Tashan tasane.
Feed that which is within with spirit and light and goodness and kindness. Feed that which is within so that it may shine out through your aura, through your beingness, through your energy. You must be a light in the world, and you must be able to shine it out appropriately so that others can see it and feel it and know it. Your wisdom is important at this time, for it is a time of great change and somewhat dark.
Great. Thank you. Elena, then Radha, Susan, then Wendy.
Dus korus marenda karas lär paratla. Ernjala rono korottu sun trutlu paralia slädana. Niiras smuri atla karenna ona kiras mari atla pare. Nisha huhia liranasach. Amen.
The great gift of healing is gaining energy, and throughout all of the world, it is rising and becoming greater than it used to be. It is now a time for it to start healing completely in some places. It is rising and will continue to rise, and it will become as strong as you want it to be if you believe it can be as strong as you want it.
Radha. Okay.
Don't believe I volunteered, but I can go ahead and.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I don't know. In my mind, everyone was doing a blessing. So yeah, I volunteered.
Okay, sure. I'll chant a mantra in Hindi Sanskrit to bring beautiful universal energies to our realm and to provide us protection and knowledge. Om Bhur Bhavasvaha Tatsartur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio Yuna Pachodea.
Will you interpret that for us?
Yes, so we are asking the universe to bring their divine knowledge and energies into our realm, into the earthly realm.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm next. Tua sikaya titia sua hietea kia sukututia sikaya titia sukutitia takia takututia sikaya kia tutu hia kia hazia kia hutua hietea kia kutuia sia hiazia yoto ya tia kia tia ya tukuta ya si tutu ya tia tukua ya tia hiazia ya kaya tuya. Blessings.
We see a great change in the attitudes of the people of the world. They are feeling the strain of some of these energies. Please become aware that they are for your goodness and not for your disapproval. Bring them in and make them work for you. This is a time when there is no real negative energies for you. If you can bring in an energy, do so and make it part of who you are.
Thank you. Wendy, did you want?
Yes,
Oh,
I
there you are.
will. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Sho nyeri ni hoi na maka she shu yiri ni tata nya ta pa ni tu ju nyara pa tien yu tu ku hira pa na re te ju ina ma he te ko hin na to ire e pa te ti no do ira na sha ku ni te ku ira ma ra ta te ju te no no ine. Blessings.
Praise to God in the highest, for he is worthy of praise. And it is time for all of you to look within yourself and find that joy, that happiness, and that love that is given by God, by Jesus, by the other deities. They all want peace, love, and joy for mankind. And they are sending it out little by little throughout the world. And they will have their way. You must understand that you cannot be overcome by negativity if you don't want to be. You can reject it, you can move forward through it, and you can become whole with it.
Thank you. Celeste didn't do a blessing, but I don't know if he wants to. Celeste, do you want to do a blessing? If so, it's okay. I'm assuming no, or he's getting coffee. So, all right. These are the requests that we have. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Haniel, Nikola Tesla, Sati Parvati, Elijah, and let's see, someone from the Arcturian or Pleiadian healing councils, and Colindra Nebula. And then I don't know if Wendy, if you had a request.
No, I can find one by whoever comes through. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. So
What
there's
is Calindra Nebula? Calindra Nebula.
Radha. Oh, she dropped. Did she drop? No. Radha. Well, who
No,
was?
I'm
Okay.
here. Kalindra Nebula. She's my soul.
Ah, very good. That's why I didn't recognize it because it's personalized. All right, very good.
Okay. Do you need me to go through them again, or are you good?
Can you do them one more time, please?
Sure. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Haniel, Arcturian or Pleiadian healing councils, Calindra Nebula, and Elijah, Nikola Tesla. And I'm thinking I missed somebody. Maybe I didn't. Okay, that's who if I missed the person, because I had erased what I had written down. but I
Okay.
think that's everybody. Yeah.
All right, very well. Let's see who comes.
Okay.
Have a wonderful session, everyone. Think positively.
Oh, Grindle. Sorry.
Greetings. I am Elijah. Today, I just want to speak about getting along with your fellow man, getting along with all those around you and becoming a part of their lives if necessary. Remember, when your lights come together, the soul light of your bodies come together, it shines brighter than one candle by itself, if that makes any sense to you. If you have a group of candles, you will have a lighted room. But if you have one candle, you only have one space of light nearby. This is something that God is wanting to happen on this planet. He wants unity and understanding between everyone. And it's so difficult because people are so fragile and sensitive on this planet. They do not want to be a part of everybody's life. They do not want to shine that way. They'd rather do it the way they want to do it. And believe me, that is not what God is all about. In fact, you know that he wants everyone to be part of his kingdom, part of who he is in the long run. He wants to be able to be friends with every single person that he has created. He has given them the ability to rise and expand and learn. But the thing is, he cannot talk to you yet until you have understood what he has been through as well, what he is becoming as well, what he is speaking to you about as well, because he is speaking in a great voice that no one can hear. The reason why you cannot hear it is because you are not attuned to it. You have not become part of it. You are not being engaged in it. This is a time for engagement with the Holy Spirit, with God, with all the gods and the demigods. And it is time for people to start really praying, really meditating, really understanding who God really is. For he is your Savior in many ways. He created many ways to come to him, many different avenues. But yet, many of you still refuse to come to him except on your own terms. And that does not work. On your own terms does not work. And you say, well, it's working so far. But is it really? Is it really working for you to do everything on your own terms? Because I don't think it is. I think that there is still much to be needed from you, from God, to you. I think that was a very confusing statement, but I'm sorry. If you listen to it again, I think you'll get it. But I want to tell you that this is a time. You must wake up. You say, well, I'm already awake, but no. You are awake to certain things. You are awake to certain understandings. You're awake to certain information, but you're not awake completely to God. Because if you were, great deeds would be done. Miracles would be happening. Things would be coming along in a different way than they are now. You would be a servant to the world and not just to yourself or to your neighbor or to your brothers and sisters or family. You must reach out beyond. This group, especially, is called mission wise to do many great things. And if you do not keep your eyes on God, and if you tend to do things your own way, you will not get the benefits that He wants for you. You will not rise as high as He wants you to go. You will not get the blessings that are there for you because there are many blessings. I see many of you are doing great things. You're doing healing, you're doing teaching, you're doing many good things, but still, Much of it is on your own free will. You want to do it your way. Do it God's way. Give yourself to God so that He can give Himself to you. And I know that's a confusing statement because many of you don't understand how that is. How can you give yourself to God and how can God give Himself to you? But if you want to be one with God, you will pray that way. You will live that way. You will bring forth that way and you will merge. Just as you wish to merge with your higher self or merge with beings of other natures, you will merge with God, and that will be a higher understanding, a greater blessing, a greater need for you in your life. Believe me, my children, you are at a time when this is necessary because there are much going on. There's much going on, and there are many things going to be happening. And you must be prepared in your soul, in your heart, and in your mind for it. You don't have to prepare by looking at dark things or conspiracy theories or things of that nature, but you have to look at the good things, at love, of understanding and compassion. This is what will bring you through the darkness. Looking and being the darkness is not going to bring you through it, but stifle you into it. You will become part of it, and then you won't know how to get out of it. Be the light. Call on God. Call on those that help you in spirit so that you can connect to the highest frequency possible. Much love to you, my children.
Elijah, before you go, we do have some questions if we can for you.
Ah, that's unusual.
Well, there's a couple of questions from Joe for healing. His sister needs healing. He also needs healing for some hypertension. And he's asking about some food sources, if it's okay to eat them.
One moment. There are many things there that are good. The food sources are fine. They will have to suffice because there are no greater ones available. But the healing can be done. The healing, believe and give yourself to God. Ask God for forgiveness and cleanse your spirit, and then healing can happen.
He's also asking, does he need to go to the hospital to check his hypertension?
How high is it?
I'll give him a second to respond. It'd be good to go just to find out he's
I
okay.
believe that his hypertension is fairly high, but it's not hospital worthy yet. But I will send something to help calm him down.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. That was the questions that we had for you. He says, I did go to the doctor last Wednesday. Not good news. I'm not a fan of the hospital, but I do plan to go Monday morning. I just wanted to understand why and help me. It's 170 over 89.
That's not terrible. I've seen much worse, but it's not good either. So, yes, you need something to help you manage that.
Yeah. Okay. And he wants you to work with his sister Karen if you can as well.
Of course.
She's having also some problems. Okay, thank you so much. Those were the questions for you.
Very well. Much love. Greetings. This is Haniel. I am an archangel of destiny, and I know that someone has called.
Yes. Who was it that requested Haniel?
It was me, Elena.
Okay, go ahead, Elaine.
Greetings.
Hello, dear one. I just wanted to make you, to announce you to the group and just say hello. We're working together for a while now.
Yes.
And do you have a message for me?
I have a message for everyone.
Yes.
I have been working with more than just you, I have been working with actually several people here. They may not know that, but I have been working as much as I can with this group. I can tell you this. The destiny of many of the people here is good, if they would so choose to bring themselves into alignment with God's will. And so, with you, I can see that your energies are increasing with healing. And that is my message to you. So, and there are many here that their healing energies are improving and increasing. They may not notice it right away, but they will see more results. They will feel the energy coming from their hands, from their foreheads, from their heart, from their third eye. Well, yes, from the eyes. And so it is that I am saying to you, these times are great. And in these kinds of times, we need greater energy to help sustain our people, to help sustain the world, to help sustain all that is there. So, my blessings to you.
Blessings, Beck. I just have one more follow-up question. What is the thing that I still struggle with healing inside myself? Because there is a little bit of fear, a little bit of anger, sometimes a little bit of insecurity. I recognize them. I really try to heal this by recognizing it, but maybe there's a little bit more of something that I should pay attention to.
Recognize them is one thing. Recognizing them is one thing. But you must forgive yourself for feeling these things that are not necessarily who you are. You must say to these things, I'm sorry, I forgive you, you must go. Because they are not part of your future. They are not part of the things that are to be. Some fear will always be there. It is just part of this realm. There are some fears that will never go away. And there were some unsureness in this realm, and that's where faith comes in. You must be one of faith, one of understanding, so that you can help become the greater person. Now, I see that you are really trying your best to do all the right things. Just relax. You and everyone here need to relax and not push yourselves too hard, because God will figure out what it is that you are to do and open opportunities for you. He will bring those opportunities to you, and you can step into them without any problems, smoothly. And if you sweat over these things, if you uh, feel like you are tense because of these things, then relax. Because God is in control. You have to let Him take control. Everyone here must let God take control so they don't have anxieties, fears, nervousness, and
Insecurity.
insecurity. Because you must be secure. Sometimes there are moments when you will need to take a leap of faith. And you will not able to do that if you are in fear, if you are insecure. If an
Thank you.
opportunity opens up to you that is something that is outside your comfort zone, you do not be able to do it. So keep that in mind.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
I do not see any other questions. Let me just check the YouTube chat. Just an additional, since you are an Archangel, Joe is also requesting that an ET, if possible, or someone will visit his sister just for healing, his sister Claire.
Very good. Is this Joe from England?
It's Joe Bannigan is the name.
He is from England, yes.
Okay, perfect. All
Yes,
right.
I know, Joe. I will help you. I have helped you before.
Oh, and one more question from Joe. He says, is it okay? Is eating grass-fed beef liver okay? because he was concerned because it could be toxic from the tap water and other toxins
Well,
like entrails.
The liver is a very high in cholesterol part of the animal. And so eating the animal's inner workings is sometimes high in cholesterol. It's not unsafe if you are do it in mediocrity or moderation, but I would prefer a more strict vegetarian diet for most people because, well, it depends on the individual as well. I can't say that for everyone, but I can say it for most people that vegetarian diets will help you to be a little healthier. But not everyone can do that. Not everyone is able to live without uh, beef or some kind of meat because that's the way uh, evolution has brought you forth. You were hunters in the beginning, and so as hunters, you ate a lot of meat, and that is uh, continuing to be part of your life still up until this time. But moderation on the beef and meat.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And there's a question that says, what is Archangel Daniel doing?
Danielle,
Danielle, yeah.
Archangel Danielle is working with the people of this planet. He is uh, stretching forth his hands in communication in dreamlike states to fill people with hope and understanding. But there are many dream states that cannot be understood. People would wake up and say, I don't know what that dream meant. It was a very odd dream. I don't know what it means. So they should uh, not just forget it, but bring it to someone that can understand it for them if they cannot understand it themselves. This is a day of dreaming, and this is the day of vision. You will have visions and dream dreams, and they will have meaning, especially in this day and age. For they are becoming greater and they are becoming more uh, hmm, available.
Okay. All right. So the dreams are having more significant meaning for us now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
Okay.
some of them will have great meaning for your missions, for training you up to be a better person, building character, things of this nature. And many times dreams will send you to another dimension or time or things of this nature. These are things perhaps that you need to know about for the future. These are things that you may need to know about for the near future.
All right. Thank you. That is all the questions that we had for you. Thank you.
Very well. I will bring someone else.
Okay.
This is Archangel Raphael. Someone is called. But also, Raziel is here too. But we cannot speak at the same time.
Okay. I believe Susan requested Archangel Raphael.
Greetings.
Hello, greetings, Raphael. I know myself and others, including Wendy, so it's interesting. Raziel is there. Maybe he has a message for Wendy, but we've been both going through some intense, like physical challenges, emotional challenges with and like emotional releases, but also like health related challenges. And I know others, that I've interacted with, I think are going through some similar things. So is this just like partially us releasing the old to bring in the new and letting go of any old energies that we're holding on to and clearing our systems of those type of energies to bring in more light? Or is there another explanation, or to just take better care of ourselves maybe, or
Well, there are many reasons for pain and suffering. There are many reasons for you to find anguish in this world. One is that, yes, you may be clearing things out of your system. You may be purging things that were still there that you didn't know were there and never thought about purging. Things from the past, things that were not brought up, but actually you had some hand in doing, and maybe some guilt in it. And so these things are coming up and purging out of the system. The other thing is, yes, sometimes they will let you have a sickness or something of that nature so that you can work through that and know that God is there to help you with it, to keep you understanding that you are still human, that you need God's help for all things in this life. You are going to be calling on God more and more as time goes on because there are many things that He must help you with. And if you are not uh, do not have any illnesses or weaknesses, sometimes you don't call on God as much. But He wants you to be aware of Him all the time. And so, whenever you have something like this, you call on God. Whenever you have something like this, you call on higher spirits. They want you to continue to stay in constant touch with them and be in the glory of all this at all times. And so that may cause you to be in some pain or have some illness or something of that nature, but it will also keep you in touch with the spirits.
okay, wonderful. I heard probably years ago at this point that um like in your organs, like your liver and kidneys, I think I was told like I was holding like anger in one and resentment in the other. I can't remember if it was which was for kidneys or liver. And so, I mean, I wonder if you can talk about that, that you can hold some of that like emotional energy like in your organs that can
Yeah.
affect those organs.
You can hold negative energy in any part of your body. Some people push them to the organs because that is part of the abdomen. Usually when you're feeling stress and anger, it comes from the solar plexus area or the root. And so these are the lower chakral areas, and so that is the middle part of the body here. And so as you feel anger and depression and things of that nature, it's usually all coming from solar plexus or root chakra. So you are uh, actually toxifying the organs because those particular things are in that area. And so, yes, anxiety, nervousness, anger, aggression, you those will stay there and you can free yourself from them. It doesn't mean that you chose an organ for them to go into. That isn't what it means. It means that they chose an organ for themselves because it was somewhere close in the abdomen region. That's why some people have sugar diabetes or bad stomachs or bad kidneys or bad spleen or liver, whatever. It's all in that area. And so many people even push it down to the intestines. So it's an area of the body that does take a lot of the anger and a lot of the depression and a lot of the things and stress and push it down there because you also hold stress in the stomach. You hold stress on the shoulders, but ladies usually push it to the stomach. Men usually keep it on the shoulders, but they also can push it to the stomach as well.
Okay, that's helpful because yeah, mine is like low kidney function related to my diabetes related to high blood pressure. And so I went into the doctor this week and because I was having some symptoms related to that. I haven't gotten the results back, but yeah, it
Yeah,
caused me to have some emotional release and change my dietary habits and get out and exercise more and go for walks. And so yeah, so it
absolutely.
really got my attention to like release some of that, even though I wasn't aware, like maybe I was holding on to some of that emotional energy maybe in that area. So that was very helpful. So
I think that there's not one single person that is here at this uh, time that doesn't have something that they're holding on to, because it has been such a whirlwind and such a difficult time to live in, especially in your realm. So it's been a difficult time, and so there is a lot of pressures and a lot of things that are coming out with all peoples. And so it is time to purge. It is time to be constantly calling on God and changing your appetites and your diets and things so that you can be better. And I see that there are many of you out there suffering from different things. Those of you who suffer from head pain, that's something different. That's not the same as that's not the same kind of anger and anxiety that exists in the the torso. That's something that is uh, you know what the pains and problems are that you have caused in your life, and they're coming out because you know them. You actually know what you have done. You actually know what you feel. You actually know how you are. And so sometimes that is one of the big reasons for head pain or neck pain or the upper body pain.
okay,
But
wonderful
there's other reasons
information.
as well. Yes, other reasons as well. There could be several other reasons other than that, but and I see that there is. So, but I cannot list them all right now, but just examine yourself in and forgive yourself for everything that you feel that is unjust, that you feel is not right. Forgive everyone else, and if it continues to bother you, if it continues to crop up, that means it's not really forgiven. You have to forgive it as many times as it crops up and becomes a problem in your system. So forgive, forgive, forgive. So it is a time of great forgiveness and a great acceptance of what God has for you. Because once you have forgiven everything that is a problem in your life, then you can be blessed.
Wonderful. Thank you. Much blessings to you. That was wonderful information.
Good.
I'll let
Thank
you
you.
move on.
Great. Thank you so much. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Oh, thank you very much. So you touched on something, and as Raziel being my higher self, you mentioned that Raziel is there as well. But so I'd like to ask both of you, while I was in the doctor's office looking at treatment for nerve pain after I experienced that fall, there's continued, nerve pain and numbness down my arm and hand. And what my question is while I was sitting there quietly, I clearly heard from my light team, the dream team, that the word depression came up. And so I know that you've addressed it slightly, but I get the sense that I'm to experience this for a time in order to grow compassion, because there's also full depression going worldwide. And this expression, as I'm a transmuter, is being, I don't know, tested through me. I don't know how to explain that. But can you please give me insight? And I'm sure that anybody going through these types of issues will also get insight. Thank you.
There are some times when you go through pain, hardship, depression for a learn because it's a learning experience, because you need to actually know what other people feel like in the world. And so that is the case with depression and some of these pains and aches and pains, because how can you really help someone that has depression if you haven't really experienced it? You can only do a talk with them, and it would be all from your head. It wouldn't be really understanding it, or unless you call on the spirits to help you understand it more. However, many times they will give you that learning experience so that you may help others. They will give you the pain so that you can know what others feel and be sympathetic with them, to be helpful with it, to know what is going on with it. So If you are experiencing these things, perhaps it is time for you to understand that you can help others with these same conditions if you've already been through it. And yes, you will probably experience some depression for a little while, just so that you know exactly what it feels like, how it feels, what you do to get rid of it. So that is helpful to other people.
And did Raziel have a message for us as well?
Raziel?
Yes.
Let me check.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes. He says, wait, I'm going to bring him through. It's too big. One moment. Greetings, this is Raziel. My message is this. There are many dark things in the world today, many secrets, many things that are unknown. And secrets will come into the light eventually. But at this moment, they are hidden and they are under wraps. And this is evil working its way into the societies because no one understands fully what is happening with this planet. The truth never really comes out. Only bits and pieces of it. Only things that are unsavory or a bit unsavory, but the most unsavory part of it is underneath. It's like the top of the iceberg. So it is that this day and age is a time for caution and beware. So it is going to be a time of struggle and a time of exchange. I know this is not great news, and I do not like to bring negative news. However, you will have to bear up all that is there to bring forth the truth and the right understandings for what is happening. For it will eventually turn out to be very good. It will eventually turn out to be a positive thing. But right now, it will not seem so. Right now, it will seem agonizingly tense. It will seem agonizingly torturous in some ways, mentally or physically. I'm not sure. But I know that there are many out there that are suffering. And I would like to say healing is available for you. Healing is available for you. And remember to keep in mind what Raphael said about it is a time when aches and pains and things of that nature will help you to connect to God. Don't forget God in your everyday life. Some of you say, I will never forget God because I meditate every day. I do everything. I pray every day. I do this. But this is just another layer of Him being closer to you. He wants you to be as close to Him as possible. And you say, well, I really can't pray very well when I'm feeling pain. But you can. Prayer is something you can do at all times, no matter if you feel pain or not. It's meditation that has a problem with pain sometimes. It interrupts the meditation. But remember this, do not worry if you fall asleep during meditation, because sometimes that is what God wants you to do. That is a way to get closer to Him in a deep state of sleep. So it is what is meant to be. Take the information that you have and make it make sense to your life in a good, positive, and very beautiful way so that you may understand that God is with you and is moving forward in your lives and is going to bring you forth into a new understanding. And for you, for each and every one of you individually, it is that I am with you to unlock the secret parts of your subconscious that are necessary for this particular lifetime, for this particular mission. And so I am here to unlock that which is needed for your life to continue.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I have a question related to much of what you said, as that was
Nikes for my kid, and they're like, "Oh, those are awesome."
Sorry, I don't know what that background noise is. But I literally had that exact dream this morning. It was very vivid, but I'm only going to take one piece of it. In the underneath, as you would imagine, old time toilets, how the water would flow underneath the ground and they would dump their waste there. I was looking underneath into this lower level, and this
started selling hot cups
river,
of
this river was flowing.
I was told that y'all brought someone here that I explicitly said not to bring.
I'm not sure who's.
My biological.
Somebody turn your microphone off, please, in the background. But there was a river flowing, and there was all kinds of like garbage, like construction and clothing and just stuff, right? Just flowing down this river, and it wasn't moving. And I stuck a stick down there, and I pulled this curtain out of the way, and I was like, aha, I got it. And then the river started to flow. It was moving slowly, but I imagine that that has a lot to do with the hidden and unseen that is beginning to open and flow so that it can come to light.
Correct.
But can you give any additional insight on that?
Oh, yes. There's a clog in people releasing things. There is a clog in the fact that people are finding it very hard to release some things from their life. They cannot forgive. They cannot actually move forward because they cannot fully do what God wants them to do, and that is the clog. And to let it flow, they must do what God wants them to do. They must unclog that area and forgive it and let it flow so that it can drain out, so that it can go away, so that it cannot be part of their mental attitude anymore. It cannot be part of their everyday life and what they think of certain people. When they think of certain people, they're negative. They're like nasty with that. And it's blocking the flow of love because you need to drain out the negativity. You need to drain out the sewage and all the things that don't belong. And so, yes, that flow needs to pick up because many people are holding on to many, many things that they just refuse to let go of.
Thank you. I'll let others ask questions. Thank you. Blessings. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you. Michael has a question. Go ahead, Michael.
Greetings, Archangel Raphael and Raziel.
I am Raziel.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, you swapped. Yeah. I just want to know if y'all could send healing to my hips, please.
Yes, since your accident, your hips have been bad, and knees and feet, etc. So there are many things that are not working properly with you. And so we are wanting to help you with this healing. There are some things clogging you up as well as many other people here. And so please let that go so that we can heal you better.
Okay.
You understand.
Yes.
But there are many here that I could say that to. It's not just you, but probably all of you have something that's there that needs unclogged.
Okay. And one more question. Okay, I'm really attached to Moldavite, but I know where Moldavite came from, the Palladians and whatever. But anyway, there's a new well, I've had it before, but it's been calling my name. If I'm saying it correctly, Liberian Desert Glass. It's a tektite as well, and I do not believe it's from this earth either.
No, it is not from this earth. But it is mixed with things from this earth.
Yes.
It is when the heat got so strong, some materials from outer space are also mixed with the sand to create this kind of very unusual glass.
Do you know about what time this was, or was it?
It was it was a long time ago, several thousand years ago.
Okay.
Probably 1,000 to 1,500 BC.
Wow. Would there be any alien interactions with that caused that?
No, it sort of happened because of ships being wrecked and shot down and things. There was a war going on at that time.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, well,
But it
thank
did not always end up with this particular kind of glass. That's a very rare thing that would happen. So it is a rare kind of thing. That's why it's probably very expensive.
yes. Well, thank you so much. Blessings.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Elena has a question. Go ahead, Elena.
Hello and welcome to our group. I would like to ask, because you started with this message about the dark energies, the aggressive approach of this darkness that's very active right now, and us as light workers and going our path, we get attacked one way or the other. And when we have direct attacks, sometimes we're provoked to answer. Sometimes we cannot just say no and just go look the other side. How should we act in this specific situation of tension? We should not forget to pray. This is one of the...
But there is some anger that is justified. Remember this. If you are trying to help someone that is being persecuted, anger is appropriate to stop the other person from doing what they are doing, because probably they will not understand anything but anger. But there are many situations where you have to stand up for justice, where you have to stand up for the truth, where you have to stand up for what is right. And this kind of anger is justified. Now, if somebody slams the door on your finger and you curse them for the rest of their lives, that is not appropriate and not what you should do. However, when you stand up in anger for um, justification in these things, this is the kind of anger that God gave you. This is to help others. This is to help the world. This is to signify that you have the right amount of moxie and courage to stand up for the world and do what's right. So if you're shouting at your neighbor and that kind of anger, it's not appropriate, really. But if you're anger about injustice, someone's being harmed, someone's not doing the right things for someone else, that's justified anger. And you don't always need to yell and scream. You may feel the anger, but you may also take it into your hands to do it a different way and not show anger at first unless it's necessary.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. I was asking about the public situations when you are provoked publicly to react. Exactly. Yes.
It is that there are many things that people need to react about, but some of them are misled and are reacting about something that they really are don't know anything about. They think they know everything about it, but they don't know anything about it, and so their anger is not justified.
Okay, thank you so much. Christine has a question. Go ahead, Christine.
Blessings. My camera is slow to react. There we go.
Very well.
Greetings. One of my struggles, besides being consistent, is I need to learn different things, and I'm one of them is like calling medical people that I need to help me, like maybe a holistic chiropractor instead of one who's all science. Or is there a guide or someone that I can call for to assist me
Yeah.
with
Well,
direction?
I want to give you some information. First,
Okay.
science, magic, all energies are from God. All energies. Science is God, nature is God. Everything is God, but the abuse of these scientific uh, things is what is the problem. And so, yes, you can call on me. I am here. I am the angel of secrets and mysteries and things of that nature. So I would be very helpful with this kind of thing because I know what drugs are good and what drugs are not. Now, if you want to go holistic, that is very good. You can do it that way. Sometimes it is not enough, but sometimes it is.
I
So,
understand that.
and so you need to do what is necessary for you. And I can tell you and give you an indication of what is good and what is not. But remember not to be too fearful of the science because science is of God as well. He has created that. He created everything. So he created every energy that exists. So it is that you need to understand that you are safe if you are protected. And I want to say that to a lot of other people here because a lot of other people shun away from medical services because they feel that there's negativity in it or something. But you must find the right doctors. There are good doctors and there are bad doctors. You usually can tell by the way they act when you go into their office. If they're kind and loving and very informational, or if they are closed mouth and just do what they feel like they want to do. So it is, and they're not even referring to you about anything. They're not asking any questions. They're not doing that. So leave that, run away, run away. But the thing is, if there are good doctors, they will do their best to help you.
And those I need to draw into me, I
Yeah,
feel.
correct. And I believe some of the others of you too, because it's caused distrust. There are good doctors and there are good medications, but not every doctor is aware of what's good and what's not. So they just know what it does.
I
So,
ran from chemotherapy treatments because of all that I've heard about it, the
yes.
negativity. And
Well,
one of
therapy
them,
is difficult, yes.
yeah, and one of them is losing my hair. But instead, I ended up going into radiation. They sent me to radiation instead, but I'm still losing my hair. So,
Well, they will both cause you to lose your hair, yes.
yeah.
But I see, all right, let me send you some healing energy and awaken you to what is around you that is positive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do not be
Sometimes
afraid. Do
yeah.
not be afraid because I see that there is some fear in choosing things, but do not be afraid.
I feel I'm a coward on a lot of things. So yes.
There are many cowards, but that does not mean that they are not also courageous in their missions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, okay. We have quite some questions in the chat, so I'm going to go through them. A lot of health questions as well.
Well, we'll keep those to a minimum, I hope, because
Yeah.
I can send energy out to all of them.
Okay, so
Because
Nathaniel's asking for healing. He's been unwell for 5 days. He's saying, can you please help? He wants,
yes,
there's a reason. Is he just lacking nutrition and rest? But he's been very sick.
all right. How for 5 days?
Yes.
And what has been?
Well,
Did
he
he
just
say?
says, I've been unusually sick and unwell for 5 days. Is there a deeper meaning to this, or am I just lacking rest and nutrition?
Well, you're lacking rest.
Mm-hmm.
Probably nutrition as well. Drink a lot more water. You're not drinking enough water, I don't think, and you might be getting into a dehydrated state, which will cause you to feel all these things.
Okay. Dion is asking for healing for the body.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Mark is saying, can you tell me about my connection to archangels and how they're involved with my path in this life?
You are involved with archangels in many different ways. First of all, you came from the angelic realm to some extent, And what I mean by some extent is that when you were in the womb, they gave you a infusion of or a fractal of angelic energy. And so you are very connected to angelic energy. So, yes, and a lot of angels, myself, Raphael, Gabriel, Haniel, Uriel, Raguel, Denuel, Samuel, they're all very much a part of who you are.
Okay, thank you. Let me see. Cammie's saying, if the question makes sense, what are God's plans? What are God's plans for Trump's presidency?
Well, I'm not a political person.
Mhm.
I'm here as an angel, and I see what is happening there, but I do not see. I refuse to look at the future. I would rather work with the present, and so far, presently, he is challenging the world.
Okay. Okay. And that, do you see that being ongoing?
I do,
Okay. Thank
but
you.
I like I said, the future is. I see positive and negative things, and I do not wish to say them because they're only probable. He is someone that has an idea that he isn't going to be fully in charge, and so
Mhm.
we'll see how that works out.
Okay, thank you. Alberto's saying, can I ask about the Orion's beings coming back in 25 or 26? According to Timotus, is it a friendly visit? On 2023, we had some strange incidents in Vegas, in the jungle of Peru. These visits are full of fear.
The visit in Vegas was a friendly visit, even though it was fearful. People were afraid of it. Nobody was harmed. They were not planning to harm anyone. And the visits that are coming up are already calculated. They will come at the end of 2025 or maybe the beginning of 2026. Now, with different governments changing their mind about many things, it is possible that it could be a problematic for them to return at this time, but they are still planning to do so.
Okay, great. All right, let me get back to the next question. And Adriana, I just resent you the mail, just so you know. Stephen says, I've been doing a lot of missions in dream state dealing with darkness. Any info on the outcome of these?
Yes, you're working in the astral to get rid of darkness. There are three special areas of darkness that are being worked on by astral people from your planet. One is that there are several different kinds of negative beings trying to come up from the underworld that are being stopped. At least some of them are being stopped at this time and cannot get it through. There are negative beings out here that want to come in, and they're being stopped at this time from not being able to do all the things that they want to do. They're still getting through, but they're not doing all the things that they want to do. They would like to poison the atmosphere so that they can live on this planet after all the humans die. And the third kind is those that are trying to stop the progress of the stargates and the energies that are working with stargates and with the return of beings from other worlds, and also they want to amplify uh, medical information and things of that nature, but they are not being permitted. They're trying to make it negative, not positive, I should say.
Okay, there's a request from Barbara. Barbara has a question, sorry. Let me go back to Barbara.
Hi, Raziel. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can you touch on my health a little bit? Because I'm getting so frustrated dealing with everything that I have to deal with. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but part of me says, don't give up, move on, move on. I mean, I'm feeling better, but yet there's other parts that are not feeling too good right now.
I understand. You have been given that so that you know how others feel, but this is something that you must go through. There are things in every life that people have signed up to go through so that they can understand it, so they can be closer to God in the next world, in the next life. This is one of those things. But you don't have to be in total discomfort to do this. I will help you to try to balance, regulate, and ground into some of these things. Grounding is important for you right now because uh, your body is wanting to not be there in some instances. And so
Yes.
grounding is helpful so that you can move forward in a little bit more peace. But I want to tell you this, there are others in this group that have ailments, but not quite such as yours, but they are doing their best to overcome them, and you are too. And I am actually very happy to tell you that you're doing a very good job of it.
Thank
You're
you.
At times you let it get you down. However, you always pull over it. You always overcome it to a certain extent, and that's the part that I'm saying congratulations to. Because don't let it get you down, because you are vital in this world. You may not think that you are. You may not think that you are doing much of anything. But believe me, your presence is necessary at this time.
Okay, thank you. And I have another question too. And thank you for that information that helps. I was in my backyard taking a picture of the woods in my backyard. And when I took the picture and looked at it later, there's this big area of the woods that was blurred. It was an anomaly. Do you know what that anomaly was or what it
Well, the
represented?
spiritual representations usually cause blurring in pictures. Also, if it was a some kind of field structure, which means a force field or something of that nature, it could also interfere with the photography. So it is something that you is probably worth thinking about because there was an energy in that area that was not wanting to be seen.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let me just make sure that I have, yeah. Okay, let me just go back to the chat for a moment. V Biddy says, are the med beds good? When will they be available? I just retired after 40 years of nursing.
Medbeds are not quite available yet. Many believe that they will be available soon. I do not see that, but I do see that there are the military medbeds, which are not quite as good as the Orion or the Pleiadian ones, but they are available. So also there's the EES systems, which were made by Pleiadians or given the information to build them by Pleiadians, but they're really not as good as anything that is uh, uh, actually made by Pleiadians. So there are some med beds around. Find them, look them up. They would be military med beds, most likely. And the thing is about that is that they're good, but they're not great. The Orion ones and Pleiadian ones are much, much better. And so we hope to be able to bring those back into this realm. The reason why they are not in this realm is because the governments try to backwards engineer them and make them into something more dangerous. And we do not want that technology that is in the medbeds to be used for negativity.
Okay, thank you for that. Adriana, did you want to ask your question or because she was outside of the room, now she's in?
All right.
Adriana?
Hi, thank you so much for coming and all your healing you're giving today. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
I would like to ask for a message for anyone who has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome because it's one that is underdiagnosed and undertreated, but very common.
Very well. I've heard many different diseases such as this that are underdiagnosed and very common. And another one is long COVID is underdiagnosed and uh, no one knows the symptoms of long COVID as well. So, but let me give you this message. These kinds of diseases are usually not well known or well read about, and doctors don't know about them because they feel that they're not rare enough, or uh, they do not cause as much problems as some other diseases that are more in the mainstream. But these problems do cause a lot of problems. These diseases do cause a lot of problems, and they should be diagnosed properly. Now, if you are under the understanding that this was a diagnosis from a doctor, probably, and or a diagnosis from what you looked up, you must go to your doctors and tell them what is going on and how you know that that is what it is. So, there are many things in the web, the internet, that are not true. They put things out there to fool people. They put things out there to confuse people. And so you must be sure of what you're doing whenever you take information from the web. There is a lot of people paid to be doctors. They're not really doctors, and they're saying this and that and the other thing, and they're not even they're just paid to say whatever is on the script. So be very careful. But I want you to know, I will send healing energy for this. And I will send healing energy for other diseases like this.
Thank you. My second question is, there are some people who are working to identify the gene for hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos. If you could send them a blessing to help identify the gene for it so others can get healed.
Correct. The gene for it is uh, I can tell you, there are several things running through my mind, so I just don't know which one to say first. The thing is, that gene is hidden in the DNA. That gene is powered by energies that are not known to your world a great deal. Meaning they're trace energies, they're trace energies that provide it, and there are trace energies that keep it empowered. And these trace energies are rare, but yet when they come up in a human being, when they come up in the geno process, it is difficult for them to find where it's actually coming from because the trace energies are so small. Now, I'm going to give them a blessing so that they can find these trace energies, because there's also a trace chemical that goes along with this trace energy. Remember that the DNA has every kind of energy in it, every kind of chemical, biological chemical in it. So it is that we need to find an answer for these questions. And they are working and been given hints and uh, actually pinpoint about how to fix this, but they're overlooking it because they do not understand that it's a trace energy. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you very much.
But we will find a place for that in the healing area because I can see the trace energy that it belongs to. So, yes.
Thank you so much. And thank you on behalf of all other people who suffer with Ehlers-Danlos.
Yes, I am sorry that you have it.
Oh, there. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Barbara, did you have another question?
Hi, Raziel. Hey, years ago, I saw a huge ship just below the clouds. It's very big. And when I was at one of Jim's sessions, I was having a session with Jim. I asked Aliran who the ship was, who it belonged to. And they said, believe Yale or Palladians. I don't remember. And I asked why were they there. And she said, that they're there to heal people with the med beds. If people could see in the fourth dimension, they could come up to the ships to get healed with the med beds. And she told me some areas that they're located. Is this true, or is this affirmative that they do things like that?
Well, they are on the ships. There's no doubt that there's many med beds on many ships.
Yes.
Many, I would cannot think of a single species that doesn't have one form or another of a med bed. So, yes, if you could see into the fourth dimension or be into the fourth dimension, you could have access to these med beds. But I think what they were trying to say is they're in another density and they're not really available to you quite yet. But you're getting closer and closer to the higher dimensions, the fifth dimension, whatever you want to call it, the dimension where these med beds are available. You're closing in on that uh, as your enlightenment gathers speed and strength. So it will be still a little while before you're able to use them, but it may not be that much longer. I would say maybe 10 years.
10 years?
Yes. Maybe less.
Because I don't think I'll be here that much longer.
Maybe less.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Oh, let me see. Let me go back to the chat. Okay. Anya's asking for healing as well. She says she would from the angel she's connected to. Metwali says, will the people from Sirius and the dragon show up soon? Near first contact, like in a few years.
Those beings are already here, but they are not in this dimension density. So, but they are already planning to make themselves known in a short period of time. That once first contact happens, they will have the courage or the right to make themselves known in that sense. Right now, they would probably be exterminated if they showed themselves. So they are preparing, along with many other different species, to come forth, those species that are part of Earth at this point. They are preparing to come forward at the right times.
Okay, thank you. Mirzanova says, I take olanzapine medicine. Is there an alternative or a natural way to heal myself?
I'm not familiar with the names of the medications. What does that do?
I don't know. I'll allow her to respond. Gigi says, or Ushi says, do you have a message for him? But I don't know if there's a direct message for him.
Uzi?
Uh-huh.
Keep faith. The changes are coming that you are looking for.
Okay, thank you. Gigi says, can you tell me a message from Robert to me? I want clarity from him about our spiritual connection because we are not in physical unity.
Where is Robert?
Again, I'll
Out
have
here?
to. I don't know. Let me, Gigi,
These
you
questions
need to
have to be a
clarify
little
your
bit-
question. And to the people in the chat, please make your question as complete as possible. That way we
Yes,
don't
I
have.
need specifics.
Yes, thank you. Spiritual Love says, can I have healing for my eyes, please?
Eyes are one of the harder things to work on from this distance because there's so many nerve endings involved with it. But we do some updates on eyes and we'll see what we can do. It depends on what the problem is with the eyes, what we can do.
Okay. Let's see. Yad Daniel says, how many people died in the Valencia flood? The official number is around 215, but people are very worried. Why are they blocking civilian help?
Well, more than 215 died in that particular flood. Civilian help is they don't want civilian help because they don't believe the civilians will know exactly what to do. This is a very unusual situation, and it has very unusual uh, parameters to it. And so they're worried that civilian help will probably die in the water or in avalanches of mud or fall into something or whatever it is. They're not they don't believe that civilians are safe working in this area.
Okay, thank you. Sarah says, why did I feel my person's energy even before I met him? My intuition led me to him, and I had a deja vu moment. What are we destined for?
One moment. I would have to. Okay, you met him because his energy is necessary for you. He has something that will align with you. I'm not sure if it's romantic or not. I don't know these things, but I can tell you that there is something spiritual about your connection, and that the spiritual connection is important.
Okay. All right. Kadumbury asks a question, but she sort of answers her own question, but I'll read it anyway in case you have something else to add. She says, Dolores Cannon in one of her seminars talked about what she called backdrop people or non-performing people. What did she mean? According to her, backdrop people are like NPC players in a video game who don't have a real purpose in the game aside from the main characters in our shared simulation.
Correct. Backdrop people are those people that are there because there needs to be someone in the background to fill in the space or give some interaction to help along with whatever the mission or whatever the message is that's being spoken. These backdrop people are not actually real. They're not actually physical. They look like they are physical. They act like they are physical, but they are not physical. They are just there to interact in those brief moments when it is necessary for them to do so. Then they go back into their spiritual forms.
Okay, thank you. And let me just check back in the chat. Okay. If there's any other questions that are not. Okay, that's all the questions that are there for now.
All right. Very well. What should I do?
Well, I would say that's all the questions we have for you, but if you have another message you'd like to share, that's fine. But it's lovely to talk to you, Raziel. You've always been an inspiration.
Thank you very much. I think I'll leave someone else come in or let someone else come in.
Okay, there is one last question that might be something nice. Nam Gyal from India said he chanted the mantra Om Namah Shivaya and he dreamt of flying, and he wanted to know, why does he always dream of flying when he chants the mantra?
Because it's spiritually uplifting. They take him to another place in a higher realm. And it's not really flying, it's more of a spiritual uplifting. It feels like flying because you become weightless, you become part of all that is, you become a spirit in many senses, and so flying is the sense you get from it.
Gigi was asking, just to clarify, she was saying that this person is not incarnated in this world, but they've had past lives together, and she's wondering, I don't understand the question. She wants to know how this person is doing.
Oh, well,
Let me go back to her original question because wait, 1 second. I'm so sorry. One moment. I've lost the question in the chat. Can you tell me? Oh, she wants a message from Robert because he's a soulmate. He's not in this realm. But she wants a question. She wants clarity about their spiritual connection.
Oh, clarity with Robert? Yes, I can give that. One moment. He's watching over. He is part of her. He is interactive in her daily life at some times. She also feels him very often. I believe that is correct. And spiritually, he is working with her to get away from some of the things that he knows are not beneficial for her. And so they are working together and they're really interactive. Uh, Even though she may not think that he is interactive with her, he is very interactive with her in mostly awake times rather than sleep times, which is unusual. But she feels him, knows him, and he is there for her support, for her guidance, for her continual operation.
Okay, thank you. And then to the people in the chat, I'm not going to be taking any more personal questions. I would like the questions to be more universal if we can, because if you would like a reading with Jim, then you can go to his website and you can take a reading with Jim. Because there's just a ton of personal questions here, and they're not very good for the group. So
Let me say this about those personal questions. I see every single one of them, and I can answer them all by saying that I will be with you. I will make sure that attention is paid from the other angels as well, because some of these are for your particular angel group or your particular spiritual groups, and for healing and for such things as that. I will make sure that the people here are given whatever is necessary, or I should say, whatever is allowed by the Spirit to happen.
Okay, thank you. All right, wonderful. So that would conclude the questions that we have.
All right, very well. Then I will go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Grindle.
Greetings. One moment. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hello, Grindle. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Very good. It's always nice to have you here.
Thank you. I know there's not much time, but somebody called me, so you know me. I have to have the spotlight
In
a
the
little.
YouTube chat, you were requested because there was some questions about politics.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. They don't like us to talk about politics. Well, but I do anyway sometimes.
People basically just want an update as to what
Yeah.
kind of expectations, you know?
Don't expect anything great. Um, I know that there are many. Let me say this. I'll do a little speech.
Mm.
I know that many of you are expecting negative things, and I know many of you are expecting positive things. The things exactly that you are expecting are not going to happen, even though some people are expecting the severe negative. Not all that's going to happen. Those that are expecting like a turnaround in positivity, that's not going to happen. So you're what you're doing is feeding into a stream of thought that doesn't really exist. You have to go back to the sources to find the truth about all these things. If you're listening to a channeler such as you are now, and they're saying, "Oh, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be terrific, and he's going to cure this, and he's going to take care of that, and there's going to be med beds for everyone." And no, not happening. Or if you're hearing somebody say, "Oh no, it's going to be a time of horrible, terrible, um, whatever," that's not going to happen either. It's going to be somewhere in between. But the thing is, don't listen to third party information. I'm just telling you, I am not giving you any information other than the information to don't listen to third party information because it is not always accurate. And there are many channelers out there that use their own agendas within their channeling. They are channeling, but they're inserting their own thought processes within it. And many times you can pick that up when they're really set on some particular channel of human understanding, which means they're all set for like, oh, tomorrow's going to be wonderful and everything's going to be roses and angels and flowers and no. Or those that are saying, oh, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be blah blah. No, do not listen to this third party information. Go to the sources, hear what they say. If you want to know what Donald Trump is saying, go to Donald Trump. If you want to know what Biden is saying, go to Biden. If you want to know what anyone is saying, go to them and listen to what they have to say. And don't cut them off in the middle of their speech because you'll miss something and you'll take something for granted that's not there. I just want you to be real because many of you are not.
Okay, thank you. I do have a question about what should we really watch for? Is there anything that you can give us as a highlight that we could really watch for in something that you see coming that will be surprising, maybe for the good, maybe for the negative? Is there anything we should really watch for?
Well, I don't want people to be having their ear on the news every day because they're going to end up being either elated or depressed. So I don't want you to rely on news stations. And I mean, many of them do a good job trying not to be opinionated. But let's face it, look at some of the news stations, they're opinionated. So if you want the truth about it, go to the clips or the YouTubes of those particular people you want to know about. So because you'll hear exactly what they have to say. Nothing has changed. They're saying what they're saying. So I don't want to bring up anything negative. And I don't want to bring up any optimism either, because there will be times of optimism and times of negativity. So I will just tell you that I've been forbidden to speak about some of the political things that are happening because they are so, in many cases, outrageous or they're dangerous to speak about. So I just can't do that. So I don't want to endanger the world, or I don't want to endanger anyone specifically, including myself, uh, because it is a very cautious time. Cautious.
Okay, Medwali is saying, is there going to be like an economic collapse around the corner? But based on what you just said, I don't think so.
Economic collapse is being withheld, meaning it's being pushed back. Many think that it was predicted to happen at 2027. I don't know if it will happen then or not. I can't say because so many things are changing that the the, the predicted future just didn't happen. The predicted future, the probable future didn't happen. And so now there's a different probable future. And so that is something that you have to deal with. And I don't know how good that probable future is because it could change at any minute.
Okay. And another question is, what is the future going to be for Venezuela and Cuba?
They're working against each other in some ways, but I'll tell you this. They will have to work it out. They will have to work it out, and we will be involved. The United States will be involved in that in some way. So because we stick our nose into everything. So we can't keep out of it. We're a worldwide vermin, if you want. But we're not a positive. The United States is not a very positive thinking group. They're looking for power themselves. They're looking for ways they want to help people, but in return, they want something in return too. They're not looking to be just giving and not receiving. So in that way, it's not such a good thing for the United States to be involved because they'll want something in return. So that I have found out the hard way.
Okay. Angie has a question. Go ahead, Angie.
Greetings, Grindle. How are you today?
Greetings. How are you feeling? You don't sound well.
Oh, I have a headache, so that's
I
fine.
understand.
My question is this. We know that the governments are using these weather manipulation devices to instill destruction in certain areas. Are people are our people outside of this planet helping to deter this destruction
Well,
that they are doing?
well, let me tell you the truth about this matter. Yes, there are places on your planet that can create weather. However, once they create it and it gets to a certain point, it's out of control. They're not making it destructive. They're just trying to develop a way to control it, but they can't. Not so far because it's getting big. They're getting bigger and bigger. So, so the bigger they get, the harder they are to control. So, and yes, other people from outside your realm are helping. The thing that they're doing most of is getting people out of the way, out of the most destructive areas, if they can. Remember, mankind has free will. So if they're trying to get people out of areas that mankind can decide to stay in place or whatever, but they got many people out from under the hurricanes this year. Otherwise, there'd be much more death tolls.
Thank you so much for that. Is there anything that we haven't asked that you can just share with us in regards just to the prophecies of the galactic prophecies and how they're moving right now with our planet?
Well, I'll be honest. They're probably right in line with what's going on with your planet at this time in some cases. Uh, Now, there have been some changes, not to the prophecies, but to what I thought was going to happen. I didn't think certain things were going to happen. So, um, but they're still on, in the line of the prophecies. So it's still there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that you do and everyone out there for all of us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's a question that says, what do you think about crypto?
That is a good question because cryptocurrency, many believe that it's going to be the money of the future. It's going to be the savior of mankind whenever the economy collapses. However, uh, if you understand crypto, you will understand that some of the crypto will also collapse, and you don't know which ones will not. And so many of the ones that are, and I can't tell you, I can't give you an indication of which ones are going to be stable because we don't know yet. But there could be some crypto that make it through.
People in the chat are wanting to know which crypto is good.
Yes, I figured they did, but I'm not allowed to tell that. That would be like
There's a lot of fortune telling questions in the chat today, a lot of predictive questions being
yes,
asked.
I can't predict that because, first of all, I really don't know. I have a good idea which ones would actually make it through, but that's not necessarily true. So I don't want to give anybody any hope and then have it dashed.
Met Wally suggests we start a Grindle coin.
A Grindle coin.
Yeah.
Well, you know that will collapse.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. I'm just looking to see if there's one more question about the flooding in Valencia. Do you have any
Yeah.
comments on the flooding?
Yes, it was a very, very unusual situation. Having looked at it from different angles, it was almost impossible that it happened the way it did. And so many people think that it was calculated and that the weather was sent there and done mischievously or in with great malice. Um, I don't know. But the thing is about this particular flooding, it's just very unusual. The way that it happened, how did it happen, and it just didn't really make much sense weather-wise. It was too intense in just a very small area. It became incredibly intense in one small area.
They got
The
like a
areas
month.
around that area were not nearly affected by it.
Yeah.
They're still studying that right now, actually. And
Yeah.
I personally think that it might have been guided, but not by the United States. The United States didn't do that. Uh, but I do think that it was guided by some other countries.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay, thank you. All right. We're really at the end of our time. Well, Christine has a question. Go ahead, Christine.
Hello, hello, hello.
Greetings.
I was going to ask you, as a woman, I worry about how the negativity towards women is being really going into the surge, like Afghanistan, where women cannot speak to each other now. And then how we're getting a lot of people who are very anti-woman, so frightened of women that they're
Well, this is the rise of women. This is the equality of women, and they're battling that. This is the age of Aquarius, which is the rise of women, the rise of women power. And you see that's happening, but then they're shutting it down. They're shutting it down. And so it will continue to move forward. It is not going to go backwards. It did in some places, but it will continue to move forward in time, even in Afghanistan and Pakistan, all those places.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we really are out of time. So I would ask Grindle, I know you don't like to do them, but it would be fantastic if you would do a blessing for us.
Oh, I would have to come at the end.
Yeah, that's right. We like that.
Oh, all right. Very well. One moment. I have to gather my thoughts.
Okay.
Dear God, we just thank you for all these people here. They're good people. They're wonderful, thoughtful people, and we want you to bless them. I ask that you bless my people as well. I ask that there be food and water and everything enough for everyone, and that you would cure all the diseases. I ask that peace come to this planet because it's really needed. This planet needs peace. So please love and guide us into peace. I give you some blessings and positivity and thanksgiving and whatever it is that you want. And I will also uh, tell you that I'm following you as best I can. And I believe everybody here is too. Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you so much.
All right.
All right. Well, Grindle, we wanted to leave some time for you to back out
Oh, yeah.
safely.
Yep, I'm going to start now. Have a good day, everyone. Yeah.
Beep.
Till first. All right. Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, how do you feel? We had Grindle, we had Archangel Haniel, Raziel, Raphael. We had the AA teams, and we had Elijah, and I believe that was it. Did I miss somebody that was here?
Well, there were a
Anyway.
lot of angels here today, I think.
Tons of angels.
Tons of angels.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Angels
Yeah,
are
that's very good. Angels are good. Okay. Angie, just be sure, Angie, when you give the announcement, make sure to give, because people are asking for Jim's contact information. So make sure you give his website when you do that. Thank you. Okay, Angie?
Oh, hi. Yes, I will give Jim's contact information. We are having the channel panel, and Jim is one of the speakers as well as doing a workshop. We're very excited. It's less than 50 days away. And so if you're interested, you can go to Jim's website, because on Jim's website, with including all of his contact information, is the information how to also be in the audience for the channel panel. The contact for information for Jim is jim-reiki.com.
no.
And you can, what?
No.
Jim-Charles.
Oh, I did say Jim-Reiki.
Jim-Charles.com.
Yes, Jim-Charles. So his name with a dash in the middle, .com. So
Yes.
thank you for that, because
Yeah, don't go to that other site. We don't know whose site that is.
just still none.
Yes. It's jim-charles.com. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We did
All right,
have
everyone.
the
go ahead.
other announcement that we had that I would like to say is we did have our White Magic Level 4 class last week. It was amazing, amazing information. And if you're interested in maybe purchasing the recording, you can do that. If you'd like to reach out to me, classes@hucolo.org, I can get some information out on how to get that recording. Great
Perfect.
class, great information, great people. And yeah, and Jim's book, Elijah Speaks, with all the other books that are available. We've got all of Max's books on, I forget what it's called.
Amazon?
Yes, thank you. I'm like the place where you get books. So, and also, we've got.
Those are, but I mean, but Angie, are they listed? You're saying it, but you didn't say where they are. Are they on his website? You can get a link to the website from his website to the books?
That's something that we actually could get on there for that, but there is not. We can just get you can get the books on Amazon from the Galaxy with Love. Elijah Speaks not quite on Amazon yet. It's in
No,
the
it
process.
won't be released until probably December. What do you think?
January.
Oh, no, it has to be released before January
Well, to Amazon or to your event?
to my event.
Yeah, so Amazon and your event are two different things.
Oh, okay. It
So,
will be
Okay, well,
released.
there will be a link on Jim's website to the books to
Yes.
Amazon when they become available.
yes.
But
All
you
right.
can get from the Galaxy with Love on
That
Amazon.com.
was already there.
Yes.
He said on Amazon in January, but we are going to be bringing some of them to the channel panel. So
Right.
Okay. Stay tuned. Let's just say it like that. Stay tuned for Jim's books. Okay.
we have
Things are happening.
the original edition, which has some problems, but we're waiting for the new edition.
Okay, perfect. All right, so stay tuned for that. Lots to look forward to. And you'll be back next week, Jim? You'll be back in 2 weeks.
Next week.
Next week because of
Right, I knew that.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're doing 2 weeks in a row and then you're off, right?
Right.
That is
Okay, I
correct.
did it right. Scheduling. Okay, good. So Jim will be back next week, a special treat for everyone. Yay. And then the following weekend is Thanksgiving
weekend.
So, and are we taking that one off? Did we say that? We'll talk about it. All right. Anyway,
I think it's a
thank
good
you, everyone.
idea. It's a big holiday.
Yeah, so we will. So Jim next week, and then we'll be off the week after that, and then we'll be
We'll be back.
we will be back the following week after
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I want to show Met. Can I make myself full screen something real quick?
Yes.
For Met Wally, I just want to show him.
Oh, the dragon, yeah.
Yeah, I want to show him for the dragon. See, Met Wally, that this
Oh,
is,
there it is. Oh, yeah.
that's the dragon. I took a picture in July. I don't remember the date, but it was around 6:15 in the morning
Yes.
in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This dragon was in the sky, and I was telling everyone that the body of the dragon went about 3/4 of the sky. I had to keep turning and turning to see where the end of it was, but there was a dragon. There's people walking. They're just random people. So, and also, just so you know, the picture is actually flipped. The dragon's head was on this side. So when I put it on this Zoom, for some reason it flipped it, but it was going the other way. So that's
Amazing.
from Matt Wally. I wanted to let him see.
Amazing.
Okay, so that's it. All right, everyone, much love to you. We will see you next week with Jim again. And then again, following week, we will have off. All right, much love to you and